It's awesome to have Austin Ellard back. I missed him.
It is. Missed all you guys, by the way.
I know, right?
Been a while
Are we
since
doing
I've
this
seen you
again?
guys, yeah.
How fast a week goes by.
I know.
I miss James too. I want to play pool tonight. I don't have James to play pool with tonight.
Yeah. His house
What
is
am I
coming
going
along.
to do?
It is.
The photos were great last week. He's so proud of that. I need a pencil, and we are ready to rock and roll. Sound is started. The cameras are running. And look at all the wonderful people around. Even you're here today.
Wow.
Glad I was able to make it.
Yes.
You used to be the youth in the hobby. What happened?
Just got old. So it happens, man.
Austin Allard joined the camera for us tonight. Hey, Austin.
Hey,
All right,
Austin.
guys. And Steve Mantilla. Let's do this. We've done this before. Let's have some fun.
Indeed.
What's neat number 185? Gives us count.
3, 2.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com.
Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week show number 185 for February 12th. 2022. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And wasn't it wonderful last night to have Joe Fugate on the show? I had no idea that they really updated the magazine the way they did. I was so impressed. I actually looked at it this week, the quality. It's so much easier to navigate than it was before. It's a great publication, and I'm honored to work with him. Tonight, we've got a lot of great people in the room and a lot of interesting things to talk about, as we do every week, because it just keeps coming on. This hobby is just percolating. First, sitting on this side of me, I've got one of our favorites that we haven't seen in a long time, weathering artist, Jeff Meyer. Hey, Jeff. It's good to have you, buddy.
Good to be here.
Of course, next to me, I've got our favorite, Daniel Coombs.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back.
And all the way on the other side of us, I've got Steve Mantilla.
Hello, everyone.
And Steve, you brought some great O-scale stuff to talk
Yes,
about
you
tonight.
Yes, I did.
I'm
Brought
looking
some
forward to
other
that.
neat pieces that I have.
A lot of people have asked out there, when are we going to start working on that N-scale layout? Well, we started working on it again, I'd like to say. Daniel and I actually spent a little bit of time on it this week.
Yes, we did.
We started carving out the shoulders using bent horse rasp, which is one of the tools that we've got from that specialty store called the Woodcraft Store. They sell these. You might find these online on their website. It's an invaluable tool when it comes to carving out the side profiles of your main line, either in N-scale, O-scale, and or HO-scale. I've used it for all three, including HON3. It works. It's a great tool. Another thing that we used was this Stanley Sureform planer, which is a go-to tool when it comes to taking out foam and carving it down quickly. It works just about as quick as the chainsaw, but with a little bit more fidelity, which I really like. But you and I got it running. We actually painted the shoulders, sealed them, and then you ran this Bachmann consolidation around the layout, Daniel, with sound in it.
Yes, it's got the economy. I think it's a custom built by Soundtrack, so using the economy sound, and it just boggles my mind that even that small of a model they can just shoehorn sound in like that. But the technology's out there right now.
It felt good to actually start modeling again. I mean, come on, we're moving on. Tonight we're going to talk about Spring Creek, but first, as you all know, I've been making a lot of new friends, and this week I had a few friends down here. I want to go over the names carefully. Carolyn Neff has a wonderful son named Zach who loves Thomas. And we've got the large-scale Bachmann Thomas locomotive here on the table. And her mother, Sharon, was also with her, along with Brittany and Holly. And these girls, I'm going to run a video clip of them. I gave her son I wanted to give Zach this Thomas locomotive. What a better way to bring somebody new into our hobby than to give them their favorite piece of equipment as they're young. He can put this on his dresser, you know, he can look at it, and he's more than welcome to come out here and run it anytime he wants once the weather gets nice on the Garden Railroad. It'll be fun. I probably just ran the video clip of the girls accepting the locomotive. Thanks, girls, for helping us have a good time. As you know, like I say, I'm making a lot of new friends in this new life of mine. Also, I want to say that I got the March What's Neat completed this week. I alluded to that last week, but I didn't tell you what was in it. First of all, we had a great layout from Andrew Bobis, and this was a Santa Fe layout that was here at the Great American Train Show 2 weeks ago in St. Louis. And Andrew designed this layout. I mean, the Barstow shops, the Topeka station, a lot of one-to-one models that he had built accurately on this layout. It was a very impressive modular layout to see. And thank you, Andrew. I will send you the video, a link to it, so that you can see how good that edit came out. Also in that video, I showed how I designed the Bachmann 2022 corporate cover, and you guys watched that video tonight. What did you think about that?
It looked good. Looked like you said too about, what was it, back 2000, the first one you did? It
The
looked similar. but
First
it looked
Bachmann
good.
Easy Track ad, correct. And that's what we used in this shot. Was they've come out with a new line of Easy Track with cement with concrete ties to add to the existing line of Easy Track that they've done so well with. Plus, we also put this beautiful Charger locomotive into the scene as the front shot. And then what they did was, after I had multiple photo shoots in between snowstorms, and I've already shown you the sunrise shoots that we did, so I won't show those photos again. But here, let me show you the final cover shot that did come from this 2-week photo shoot as it transpired and slowly got built. They put a city in the background beyond all the Woodland Scenic sagebrush trees with the Woodland Scenic polyfiber and ground foam on them. And it came out to be a really decent photograph. Again, pick these up next time you're at a train show. Talk to the folks at Bachmann, and they will give you a copy of this catalog for free. There's a lot of great material inside that. Also, something I really want to talk about tonight, and this was exciting, and this is the Genesee and Wyoming's new ship called the Cherokee. And in fact, they've got 2 of these. They just christened, did I say it right? Christened another one last week. So they have 2 of these ships now in their fleet. This is a magnificent, magnificent car float type ferry. It's got 20 tracks in it. It's got 10 on each level. The lower level's got 10, the upper level's got 10. And I measured this out, figuring that if somebody would build this for their layout, they could actually build a table or a platform and build this ship, which would be about 8 or 9 feet long and about 15 inches wide. What a great attributing thing to add to an operating session, whereas you could have freight cars show up from anywhere. Now, these ships are based out of Mobile, Alabama, and what they do is they load these up with freight cars and they ship them down to Mexico and vice versa. So back and forth is where both of these vessels work. Thank you so much, Jeff Nelson, for supplying us with the drone footage. You're a great drone pilot, and it was absolutely, again, fascinating to see something like this.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was highly impressive in my eyes.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. Wow.
So, you are here tonight, Jeff Meyer, and you have brought some locomotives. Tell us what you brought tonight.
Well, I brought a couple things. The first one, this is my son Connor's locomotive he did. I think we got this a few years ago at the big NMRA show in Kansas City. You were there. Connor picked this up, and we just recently got around to weathering it. Connor did most all of it himself. I mean, I helped him. He was using the photos of the actual locomotive off the internet that we found, but he did the giant burn mark everywhere, and not quite done yet, but probably about 90% there, so pretty neat. Some of y'all, I'm sure y'all remember Connor from being on the show a couple years ago, but so he's still into it. We still do some modeling occasionally. And then this is a car, it's been out for a while, Pacific Western Rail Systems out of Canada, and then I guess, I think they originally were selling stuff online. I'm sorry, I don't know that much about it. I should have done more research about the company, but I didn't even know I was going to be on tonight really till I got here.
Right.
So, but anyways, North American Railcar Corporation is the name of their company. I guess actually manufactures HO scale models and N scale too, I believe. But so I've got these 2 cars
Those
here.
are
They
neat
just came
looking.
out.
They are.
Very nice.
Yes.
They're Pullman standard 5077. Yeah, you can take a look at it.
Can we
if you
look
want.
at this? Can we figure it out?
Look at that.
This is one that I
pretty cool.
started to weather. It's not quite done yet,
Highly
but it's a
detailed.
rail box patch
John.
for seaboard system, and that's another one. I got 2 almost identical because they actually sent me the wrong car number at first, so I had to get another one. So this one I might actually turn into a Union Pacific patch and then make that the seaboard one is the correct number. But yeah, it's actually a nice car. I think you can really only get it through them. I believe they still got some in stock. You'd have to check out their website, but You're a little leery now. You got to buy so much stuff before you actually see it. So I was
Right.
like, you know what? I'll buy one. I'll give it a try and see. Because I think it's the first thing I really bought to them. But in all honesty, it's not a bad looking car. It's very similar to the ones that Athearn and Intermountain do, but this one is the smaller Plate B box car. It's not as tall as the Plate C ones like the Intermountain and Athearn version, but overall it's actually a really nice car. It's not
Yeah, it
bad
looks
at all.
pretty
Are these
Cool.
cars
Very
still
nice.
available now for purchase?
I think so. Like I said, I didn't.
You got 'em at the
exactly
hobby
do
shop?
Tons of homework. No, I didn't. You got to order them from their website.
Oh, you do?
Direct.
North
Gotcha.
American Railway Corporation.com. That's a mouthful. I got a phone number here of 866-840-7777. And what I find interesting here is what's written on the side of this box. They've got the two different body styles, which I can see you've got one of each.
Well, no, they're both the same. But yes, they did. There's tons of different variations.
5 side sills,
Yep.
3 different types of ends, 3 different door track types, 8 doors total, and 2 different types of roofs, bow tie and diagonal pattern roof, and 3 different types of underframes.
Yep.
I mean, they are covering every type of car that you would see like this.
Yep. I just looked if it's still available. I think they were $41.95, so not a bad price. I mean, compared with how everything's going.
That's
lately.
great. I
It's not
love
bad.
it when we get to see
But yeah,
new stuff
they're-
like that.
They're not a bad car. They've been out for a while, but I just got a chance to finally bring them over and have them on the show.
That's very cool. Okay, next I want to talk about something really exciting from Walthers. And I found out about this week because I made the announcement in the March video, but I'm sure I've looked on their website, so it's actually public right now. You know, Walthers is a wonderful company. They're always trying to do something to introduce the youth into the hobby and promote our hobby the best they can, and they've hit a home run with this one. They are announcing the Walthers 2022 Model Railroad Scholarship Program. Now, this is designed for high school seniors and grads that are active in model railroading and pursuing a degree in one of the STEAM programs, either science, technology, engineering, arts, or math. How wonderful Walthers, a family-owned company in our industry, supports the youth in our hobby in so many different ways, including this thoughtful program. You can check out their website for more information and details for the criteria and what it takes to qualify for various applicants. And in fact, there's a form right there that you can fill out. Amazing program Walthers has done here. Again, announcing the 2022 Model Railroad Scholarship Program. Hats off to Walthers again for coming up with another great way to include the youth into our hobby.
Pretty
Yes,
cool.
very
You're
nice.
too old for that.
You're too old after
Yeah,
18.
too
It's
old
all
now.
right.
That was kind of exciting. I actually wanted to actually do that. That was good. Tonight, we've got a screen capture here of Spring Creek
Yes,
Model
we do.
Trains, and I'll tell you why that is. First of all, they'd like us to announce the show dates of all the shows coming up, and Daniel's going to do that for us.
Sure. All right. So we got a list of 5 shows total. The first one would be, make sure I say this right, Lincoln Area Railway Historical Society, and that is going to be in Lincoln, Nebraska, February 19th and the 20th. Next one we got is in San Antonio Model Railroad Association in Garden Ridge, Texas, February 26th and February 27th of this year. The Hostlers Festival in Ogden, Utah, and it's actually in a 3-day, I bet it's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday sort of deal, March 4th, 5th, and the 6th. Next up, we've got the Boot Hill Train Show, Garden City, in Garden City, Kansas. That'll be March 12th and the 13th. And last but not least, we got the Greater Sioux Falls Model Train Show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, March 19th and March 20th. Boy, they've got a lot of work ahead of them, though.
There's a
But
lot
I'll
of
tell you what,
shows.
Yeah, that's-
they make it fun.
A lot of times, Dave and Deb split it up, where Deb will be in one city and Dave will be in the other. And of course, their son Mike and Jeff also helps out with the family business, including the grandchildren that are now actively involved in that wonderful business, Spring Creek Model Trains, out there in Dedrill, Nebraska. What they wanted us to talk about tonight, and I'm screen capturing this right now, was to show their website and demonstrate how easy it is to navigate this. And the subject that we're going to talk about tonight are the Bowser freight cars. They've recently uploaded the entire line of all the Bowser freight cars that they've got in stock. So I simply go to the in stock page here and I scroll down to HO scale to Bowser, and check this out. It's all right there to be had, broken down by locomotive types, which I do want to show a couple locomotives. They didn't ask me to do this, but these are beautiful. I had these right here, this 630, In fact, I'm going to show
axle.
I'm going to show a video clip of these running. The CP rails are beautiful. I shot a video clip that I ran on the What's Neat show. Check this out, running out in real sunlight on one of the dioramas. I'm going to spend a lot of time this summer creating about another 50 or 60 run-by clips like that, so we've got new fresh ones of new locomotives and a lot of new manufacturers' products. But that's just that segment with regards to the locomotive. If I go down to in stock again, and I want to click on Bowser, let's check out the freight cars, because they've recently uploaded a lot of freight cars that they've got now in stock.
A lot.
And there's
Wow.
a lot, I know, right? How about the Triple Crowns? I mean, you see those all the time at your work, running through. They've got various road names, including the one that we know so well, the Triple Crown from Norfolk Southern. All this is in stock on their website. And I want to go to the 100-ton hoppers, because I know
Those look pretty cool.
these are, I love the
that.
Santa Fe one down here at the bottom.
I'm digging the UP.
How many? And here's something. A lot of people have asked for kits. So now Bowser's recently now starting to sell kits. Between $11 and $16, you build the freight car yourself. It's like the Shake the Box, green box in this case, Bowser's green box. But I mean, there's a concept that people have been asking for a lot in our hobby. And I'm really happy to say that your wishes have been, listened to, and they're doing it for you.
One thing I like to comment on the road railers, I think Bowser, if I'm mistaken, please comment it below or get a hold of us, but I think Bowser was the only one to make those road railer trailers. I think that's what the technical
That was
term
hot
is.
when they first came out with those. They came out with those, I want to guess it was the early 90s, because we had the Midwest Valley Modelers layout operating, and they started showing up on our layout for train shows. And I mean, I know Greg Pappin modeled that.
Right.
And it was amazing. What an amazing technology in general that's
And the
still
time it
persevered
was,
through
it
all the
was,
years.
Yeah, very well
Mike
thought
Buddy's
out.
going to love this one, because the 70-ton wood chip hoppers that they've got.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a Missouri Pacific for you here, Mike. And I also probably already scrolled past the Frisco, where they literally took the 70-ton hopper and added a lot of extra height to it, because wood chips are light. So you can stack them up higher and haul so much more commodity in one freight car.
Gotcha.
So hats off to that. But check out this website, Spring Creek Model Trains. They're constantly updating and working on it. And this has been a game changer. As you will remember, when we went out to Deshler, Nebraska, 4 years ago, I think it was, to do that show out there, 2018, 19, somewhere in that range, they were just getting their website started. They were depending upon just the sales from their store and going out and being at train shows, which is why they've got such a diverse train show schedule. That's the way they made their bread and butter. Bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
That's
There
the
you
way
go.
it worked,
Red
right?
butter. Yeah.
But the fact is now, with the introduction of this brand new, easy to navigate website that's got all the products on it, this has been a game changer for them. And they very much thank you for their support. I get told all the time that people come into the store or see them at shows or comment in the on the
Various
website
comments.
when they're making an order, and they say, we've seen you on the What's Neat show, we've seen your interviews, we really appreciate that you all are a family company. I could keep going on that all day long, but I'll stop. Steve Mantee is here, and you brought some amazing freight cars too, Steve. Tell us what you brought tonight.
Well, as usual, since it's Valentine's Day again, we had the show on. We had this car a few years ago when Glenda was here for the Valentine's car to commemorate that. But once we get past that way, I brought some other neat O-scale cars that I picked up as usual in a collection and that. And the box cars are the Menards, ones that commemorate the bomber, World War II bombers in that aspect. And the other ones are Menards flat cars, but somebody else had put some loads on them. And I thought they were pretty neat, and I picked up 12 or 15 of the cars at a time. And I just thought something different to show to everybody.
And it looks like these are compatible, both the 027 and the OS gauge.
Yes, that's what's
The ones with the tanks on them are killer.
That's what's nice about Menards. It can roll and just go with anything there. But yeah, I have a couple other ones with the tanks on them in that.
Cool.
And they're
Cool.
very neat.
Now all we need them to do is make a locomotive for this train set.
Yeah.
Who knows? They could be coming out with one. I don't know.
Actually, these models with the vehicles on them they look amazing.
They are dynamite.
I mean,
Yeah.
that looks like Jeff weathered that one in. Right?
Yeah.
So Jeff, have you started working on a layout now? We've been talking about this for years.
No.
Have you started a module yet with your boys? Your boys have grown up a lot.
They have. Yeah.
They will be our next youth in the hobby, Daniel.
That's it.
In fact, he wanted to
will
run
at some
camera
point.
tonight, right?
Get trained. No layout yet. Need to. Actually, one of the first things I might have to get my man Steve here to get some lighting, more lighting in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Because it's still an unfinished basement, and the lighting. I got some lighting done that a cousin helped me do a while back, but I need the area I want to build it. It needs more lighting. It's just got the old, the one pull string light bulb.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I need more.
Talking about lighting down here, we don't have any of the spotlights pointing at us, so we're probably in the dark tonight on the stage. None of those lights are pointing at us.
Goodness.
Fail. If you were, tell us what type of lighting would you use? Would you use incandescent spots, 65-watt bulbs, or would you go with the new LEDs now?
Probably LED. Or I'd have to maybe defer to you guys. I haven't gotten that far into it, but yeah, probably LED daylight. That's what I actually have in. They're just a bulb. It's can lights. There's like 8, 10, 12 of them, just in 1/4 of the basement. But it's all LED. I forget what wattage equivalent, but it's all daylight. And I did paint the walls, most all the basement, just the concrete, a sky blue.
Nice.
Just to have just a
Gotcha.
light rather than just concrete.
Yeah.
So there's daylight lighting. It's this cold, dark basement, but now I brighten it up with painted the concrete. It's got like a sky blue, and then got the daylight lighting. So even for an unfinished basement, it looks okay.
So what's
And then
your
there's
opinion
just trains everywhere.
on the design of the layout? Will this be a single deck layout or a double deck layout?
I think it would just probably be the one I was thinking of for the time being would just be almost just a square, kind of maybe modular, and just one level. And that's what I thought too. I definitely do want to get one started, but it would be kind of more geared towards where they could help me with it and kind of be more robust, as you call them, raccoons. I don't want them to hurt
I
So
do
it would
call
have
them
to be-
raccoons.
Oh boy.
It would have to be. It would have to be built kind of durable. You know what I'm saying? though.
Call me out on that.
Accessible, but no, I mean that would be kind of and maybe mildly proto freelance, definitely based on Midwestern scenery, that type of stuff. So
Just enough
But
to
yeah.
keep them interested and
Right,
keep
yep.
learning
Keep 'em
and
going.
growing from there. That's
Austin's
what we need.
face is starting to hurt with that smile
Yeah,
back there.
man,
Look
he's
at that.
really.
Well, you see him on the Garden Railroad running around pushing the
Right.
freight cars back
That's
and forth,
right.
and it just reminds me
Well,
of watching the.
Well,
well, that's what I'm worried about. I don't need some of my high-end tangent weathered freight cars. Like HO scale vehicles.
They've
so.
grown up a lot. I'm sure they have a lot
Yeah.
more respect than that.
They
Now,
do.
Steve, your father and you both have a layout. You've got the 3-rail Lionel that you so much appreciate. Your father's got an HO scale layout. Have you guys considered what you might do if you were to change those layouts?
no, because his entire train career, whatever, has always been HO. That is where he's been with it in that. He enjoys the little pieces I pick up from Lionel and the O scale that way, but he has always been with the HO, and since he's got the Broadway Limited is what he mainly runs in that with the sound and all the rest there. That's what keeps him occupied, to have the train.
You're so
moving
lucky to
sitting
be able to
there,
model
so.
with your father like that.
Well, it's what
That's
makes
cool.
the nice part of this is something we can do together when people call up to buy trains and all that. It's, as I tell the same story, is a lot of the stuff I try to resell, but some of it is just to see more collection that Dad can keep and have it on his shelves. And the same comment we say over and over again: he has more trains than he ever dreamed he'd ever have again.
I also love it when you're at a train show and I get to see you and your wife both working together, working the tables, helping each other as a team.
Always enjoyed to see that.
It is very nice
It is.
that Glenda is helping me with this now, and she's pretty much taken over running the shows now. So she's teaching me a few things here or there, but I'm just glad that she's with me doing it. And the past few big shows we've had, she's been in one corner with her apron and been able to run the things that needs to be done. The only other thing that she does stipulate is before I set up, we have to make sure we have tablecloths that match the seasons.
Tablecloths.
Yes.
goodness.
So we
That
have
match.
we have Valentine's tablecloths, and now I have to, besides what train stuff I pack, I have to make sure I have the correct tablecloths.
Decorations.
Yeah, the correct decorations.
That's
so
nice.
you know
Well,
what?
that is pretty cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
So and if
Not
sales
bad.
increase, well, it must be because of the tablecloths.
Now, speaking of shows, if you're able to say it, have you guys thought of the next show in May that you guys are going to
Oh,
have?
we're having it May 14th.
It's already been announced?
Yes.
Okay.
May 14th is when we're having the.
Where's that going
the
to be?
next show out there in Imperial again.
Imperial.
It'll be our third time having
Nice.
it. Was May 14th of 2022.
We'll have to start
and
giving the dates and all this particular information on that because that show keeps growing.
I get the phone calls, and it's usually sells out very fast, and we're very happy with it in that. So
Nice.
That's awesome. Thank you for what you do to contribute. I know you're sitting there saying, I never imagined, we got to get you a girlfriend too, right?
Okay.
I never imagined, though, you and I'd be both looking for one at the same time. Go figure.
Yeah,
How much fun is
That
that?
happens.
And then we got Austin over here. We need to go play some pool, gentlemen.
I'm down for that.
All right, guys, this might be a short show tonight. Other than talking about layouts, which we could talk about all day long, and that N-scale layout is percolating. It will start getting finalized and finished more. I'm going to work on it a lot this month. Look forward to the roads. We've got a lot of N-scale buildings that we're going to assemble and show how to build and put on that layout, plus the scenery aspects, wrapping it at oak, dropping in all the blocks, dropping in the electrical and all the switches, the panel switches, so that we can turn off certain segments so all those DCC engines aren't running with sound all at the same time.
Right.
So look forward to that now in the next coming months as I start to pour my time into that. Other than that, guys, we're at 21 minutes. I know this is going to be a short one tonight, but we've covered all the bases. What do you think?
I think so.
One more thing I wanted to say, though.
Go ahead.
Before I forget. I was recently, so those of you who follow me on Facebook or whatever, I was recently, trying to think, hold on. I was recently contacted by I think it's Just for Fun Trains, a gentleman out in Mexico and a friend of his out in Australia, and they're both speak Spanish, so they do a translation.
Oh, you were interviewed.
I was interviewed by Just for Fun Trains, Eduardo and Martin Valley UP Snowy Subdivision, I think. Sorry, guys, if you're watching. Sorry if I might have got that name wrong. But I was interviewed by him, and it was an hour and 20 minutes. So stay tuned. So that will be posted up soon.
An hour and 20 minutes.
It lasts an hour, 20 minutes.
What did you guys talk about?
We
Speaking Spanish?
That's it. Wow, I didn't know you.
Maybe that's why it took so long.
Yeah, that's it. He had to translate, yes.
Goodness. No, basically what they did is they did the translation and introduction, and then basically then they would, of course, try to say in English, and they'd ask me some certain questions because we kind of did a pre-trial like for 15 minutes before we hit record.
Okay.
Started the show. We talked about how I got involved in the hobby, how I've progressed in it up to this point, what other activities I'm involved in, like with live steam. I kind of touched base on that, and they want to come back to me and do another interview about live steam and kind of my interest in translating my full-time job as being a mechanic and into model trains and even into the live steam atmosphere.
That's perfect.
So
nice.
is it out yet? Or
No,
Okay.
it was about 2 weeks ago. He said it takes him a little bit because he's also got, full-time job, so they're just trying to find time here and there to edit it in. But
on YouTube? On YouTube?
on
or-
YouTube,
Okay.
yes.
Cool.
You built that switchyard that I used to use for doing photography. In fact, I remember that we shot the very first Athearn, I think some of the tunnel motors that showed him up here one afternoon.
Yeah, it was the, what was it, the SDP
Fort- yeah.
40 or whatever?
The
Yeah,
passenger
yep,
version.
Yep, that was the one. Yeah,
That was a
scared.
neat day. And that was all microengineering track.
Oh, yeah.
Code 70?
Yeah.
Are you going to use that on your layout?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I
Why
remember
would you
listening-
do that? Why would you prefer that track?
it just looks like the real thing. I always give Austin trouble about that, but so not
We
to
won't.
bash
We
it,
won't
but
mention
yeah,
the brand he
it's
uses.
but no, just I mean, it really does, and that's what I tried selling him on. And I think I finally maybe got him to come around. Well, first off, it's made like here, right down the street in Fenton.
It is.
Right.
It's American made.
Right in
so
our back
that's
door,
gotta be-
backyard.
I mean, that's, But I mean, if you literally look at it, it looks like real track from above. Like, and actually, where in my job, where I'm up close to track and look down on it, technically, I mean, the ties are correctly scaled. There's wood grain to them. The tie plate, the spike detail, and the profile of the rail.
Right.
There's a lot of model train rail that is not like even correctly profiled. It just kind of looks like metal I-beams or something.
Correct.
I mean,
Right.
That's not right. But if you actually, when you cut or look at the ends or cut it in half, it is the correct profile of rail. I get it to some people, maybe, especially as your eyes get worse. That's not. But to me, I can tell the difference. You know, when you look at photographs or video of someone's model train, to me, I can see right away if it's like a good quality scale track or something, more toy trainish.
And the profile is basically saying, instead of, like you said, I-beam to where it's like a flush, flat surface,
Yeah.
true, like
It's
180 degree horizontal.
It's got the web, the ball,
Right.
and all that stuff. So
Cool.
But yeah, I would definitely use it. I've been, because actually, I guess buy tomorrow's track with today's dollars. I would at the train shows, if I would find some on sale, I would buy the bundles of it, of
Right.
microengineering track. Just,
Right.
They
You
sell
can get it at
bundles of five,
Spring
I
Creek
think.
Model Trains.
Do
Yeah,
they
so
sell
there
it?
you go.
Good.
They're our
Your
dealer.
to-go
There
source.
you go. There you go, Austin.
Austin's got a
That's
lot of
good.
track
There
to
you go.
replace.
Where's those paychecks going?
Austin Allard, thank you so much for running camera tonight. Give us a
Thank you,
wave.
buddy.
Step out here and say hi if you want. Just step
Come
right
on,
in front.
Austin.
There you go. We got the
There.
hand
Oh,
wave.
come on.
Steve Mantilla, you're awesome. It's good to have you. Jeff Meyer, Daniel Coombs, we love you. The two raccoons are watching us shoot the show. We love you, boys. This is the best hobby in the world with some of the best people in it sitting all around me. And we are going to take our hammerhead right now. And actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to run the NSCARE N-scale layout over there. We've got it all set up. What system do we have on the N-scale layout? It's not
The
this one
NCE
for my
power
home layout.
cab.
It's the power cab.
That's the basic
That's the
starter.
$199 set where you just plug it in, hook it up to your rails, and off you go. And it's tethered. So that's the one we're going to use tonight to run the N-scale layout. And
Yep.
after that, we're going to go play some pool. So guys, let's go run some trains.
All right.
Okay, thumbnail shot. What do you want to do?
Grab some trains.
Hold.
Jeff, grab
Oh,
your beer.
I want to grab this Thomas. Can I
No.
grab this Thomas? This is beautiful.
When you said go to Spring Creek and get it, why don't I just show up in Fenton? It'll work like this.
They don't need to know that. That's fine.
I know.
What are we supposed
We
to
are
hold?
we are recording sound. They're hearing every word you're saying right now.
Okay.
Because we're going to we're going to run credits as we do the thumbnail, like we always do.
You might want to edit that out.
It's okay. It's the truth. I'm going down to microengineering too. I want to go down there and have lunch with them. They're fun. Ready, guys? Okay, we got thumbnail. Leave camera one rolling. I will kill sound.
All right.
And good job,
I
Steve.
think that was a good show.
Oh, thanks for bringing some models, Jeff. It was
Thank
great
you,
to
thank
have
you.
again tonight.
Cool.
Thank you very much for having me on the show again. Thank you.
know.
I
Oh yeah,
always
you were
enjoy
on
it.
last week. Well, I wasn't here last week. I
Did you
was
get any
tied
phone
up.
calls, Steve, off of that? Did people call you for estates?
Actually, I had a gentleman call from Florida.
Florida.
About the guy from Florida selling some, wanting to see about selling some signals or something that way.
Signals.
Railroad signals type of thing. He's looking for somebody to sell them in the train show and everything. But I was impressed that he said, I saw you on What's Neat here.
Yeah.
You're talking about how you do shows. You know, would you mind maybe, we'd be interested in maybe selling some of our stuff. So, I mean, it was an unusual phone call, and that's what I
Go
like
for
about
it.
being on here.
If you want to, go. And that's the thing that bothers my mind. It's like when I first got on, there's no way. And all of a sudden, I go over a train show, I get 20 guys in like 5 minutes. I know. Like, what?
I got that happen. But you may have to go on some of the, you may have to go on some of the in and outs.
It's the raccoons. It's the raccoons. Wave at me, Daniel. Jeff Meyer, give me a wave. All right, guys, that's it. We're cutting out this one.
Yeah, he is.
You know what's creepy? In Thomas's eyes, the lazy eye. I don't know why I kicked out one eye straight. It's weird.
He's gonna kill my bat.